What I'm trying to tell you, the more you love Ali, the more you're absorbed of the love of Ali, as the Prophet ﷺ tells us, the more iman you have in you. And the more you stay away of him, the more closer you are to nifaq, to being a hypocrite, a munafiq. I want to take you through, I don't know how much time do I have. What time is Maghrib? Okay. Why is Nabi SalAllahu Alayhi tells us, Ali is from me, I am from Ali, one hadith. Why does he tell us in the other? That's Sahih hadith, by the way. Huh? I'm not telling you any weak hadith. If they are weak, I'll tell you in the front. I don't tell weak hadith usually, to the best of my knowledge, unless I tell you what they are. So, Ali is from me, I am from Ali. Then he tells us in the mutawatir narration, Man kuntu mawlahum, I am his mawla, Ali is his mawla. Then he tells us another authentic hadith, Al-Haqq ma'a Ali wa Ali ma'a Al-Haqq. Ali is with Haqq and Haqq is with Ali. Then he tells us in the other hadith, Anta minni, Ya Ali, aren't you pleased that you to me are like Harun was to Musa? Why? Why is he giving us all these signs? To understand, Ya Habibi, my dear beloved brothers and sisters, to understand that you need to look at, after the Quran and the Sunnah, look at the example of Ali. You will see the flag of Haqq always with him. You will see him inseparable from the Quran. You will see Ali as the walking Quran. When I talk about Al-Bayt, I'd like to talk about their master of Al-Bayt after Rasulullah SalAllahu Alayhi wasallam. وَإِمَامُ أَهْلِ الْبَيْتِ الْأَعْظَمِ بَعْدَ النَّبِيِّ الْأَكْرَمُ هُوَ عَلِيٌّ أَمِيرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. The Imam of Al-Bayt after Rasulullah SalAllahu Alayhi wasallam is Ali Amir al-Mu'mineen. How much do you know about Ali? Because how much you know and how much you love. Knowledge means love. Love is not just an emotion. Live Ali. Live him. Live Fatima al-Zahra. Acquire knowledge of her and live them so you can actually love them. Otherwise your love is just lip service. Lip service. That lip service got us nowhere. Nowhere. Because we all say we love Allah, we all say we love Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we all say we love the Sahaba, we love Ahlul Bayt, but that is just lip service. It's got us. When it comes to practice, we have little to show. Ali was born in the Kaaba. And I know, look, anytime you mention anything about Ali, there are 100 guns pointed at you. I understand that. I'm fully aware of that. No problem. And I'm not talking about bazookas either. No? I'm talking about big guns. Under the banner and under the abaa of Ahle Sunnah and all these things. Al-Hakim rahimahullah, Imam Al-Hakim al-Naysaburi narrated in his Mustadrak, he says, وَقَدْ تَوَاتَرَتِ الْأَخْبَارِ. Al-Hakim was born year 331 of Hijrah, only 300 years after Hijrah. Huh? He says, Al-Akhbar, it's mutawatir, it's beyond any possibility of not being correct. At my time, that Fatima bint Asad, that Ali was born fi jawfi al-Kaaba. Ali was born inside of the Kaaba. Some people, again, it's difficult for them. What do you mean? That means, because we have to make sure that Ali does not have anything. So, you have to put it down. What do you mean? No, there is no dalil for that. Dalil, no dalil, fine. Historians mention lots of things that have no dalil. Tala al-Badru alayna has no dalil. Huh? How many of you know Tala al-Badru alayna? Many of you. It has no authentic dalil. There is no authentic, in fact, sanad munqati' to Tala al-Badru alayna. There's no such sanad. Especially the second line, Tala al-Badru alayna, maybe we can find it by Ibn Aisha, rahimahullah, one of the people between him and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 4 generations. Huh? Yeah, that's the dalil. So it's not, the sanad is not there. Lakin ulama still narrated, almost everyone accepts it. Al-Hakim says it's mutawatir in his time. 300 Hijrah, mutawatir. People knew. Mutawatir means everyone knows it almost. Everybody knows it. It's given knowledge. That Ali was born in the Kaaba. Al-Fakahani mentions it in his book. Ulama Sirah mentions it in their book. Anyway, take it or you don't have to accept it. It's okay. I have no problem. I still love you if you don't accept it. I have no problem with that. I love everybody, it doesn't make a difference. Intellectual disagreement doesn't mean that we hate each other, no problem. Was born in the Kaaba. As Al-Hakim says, it was mutawatir. Al-Hakim was born year 331 and he died, I believe, year 405 of Hijrah, rahimahullah. From the ulama of Salaf, Hafiz, Sahib al-Mustadrak. But I want you to understand that this birth of Ali in the Kaaba is not coincidental and circumstantial. That he's born inside of the Kaaba. The Kaaba is the symbol of La ilaha illallah. It's a symbol of Tawheed. وَعَلِيٌّ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ وَعَلَيْهِ السَّلَامُ وَكَرَّمَ اللَّهُ وَجْهَهُ was born inside of the Kaaba. Not coincidentally or circumstantially. It is all the will of Allah to make the birth of Ali in the Kaaba. Because Ali turned out to carry the Kaaba in his heart throughout his whole life. Ali himself became the extension of the Kaaba. He became the symbol of La ilaha illallah throughout his whole life. Al-Kaaba was always in the heart of Ali because he was born in it. And Ali, like Al-Alusi says, rahimahullah, he paid that favor back to the Kaaba. Al-Kaaba gave him birth. He paid that favor back. You all know what happened when the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam returned back in the liberation of Mecca, and he put Ali, karramallahu wajhahu, on his shoulders, and he told him, Ya Ali, stand. Sayyidina Ali stood on his shoulders, and he told him, now purify the Kaaba from the idols. So Ali was taking out the idols from the top of the Kaaba. As if Ali was paying that favor back to the Kaaba. You gave me birth here, and I'm purifying you now. So Allah willed for him to be born in the Kaaba. So we know why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us that we hold on to that rope of Allah, that Ali ibn Abi Talib. He's born in the Kaaba. But not only Allah wills for him to be born in the Kaaba, when he's born, it happens, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will, that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was living in the house of Abu Talib. So, and who gets assigned, which room gets assigned for Ali to be in? The room of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, where Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam is there. So Ali, from the first day, not only he gets born in the Kaaba, then he moves in to the room of where Al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam is living. And therefore the arm that used to hold Ali was the arm of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And the chest that he used to be close to was the chest of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the breath that Ali smelled very firstly was the breath of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the eyes that were close to him were the eyes of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the ruh, the soul that was surrounding him from the beginning, was the soul of Muhammadun Rasulullah. But not only that, he raises him. He infuses in him every day from his character, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He puts more and more into him. He feeds him from his nur, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he feeds him from his blessings. And he feeds him so that sometimes he would give him the food from his, until Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he feeds him and feeds him and feeds him, until obviously he puts his ruh in him. Until he tells him, as Al-Bukhari Muslim narrate, you are أَمَا تَرْضَ أَن تَكُونَ مِنِّي بِمَنْزِلَةِ هَارُونَ مِن مُوسَى. Aren't you pleased that you are to me like Harun was to Musa? You are to me like everything, illa nubuwa. To me, so Sayyidina Ali, when he was brought up like this, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's imprints are all over him. His akhlaq was from the akhlaq of Rasulullah. He was a nur from the nur of Rasulullah. His love was imprinted by Rasulullah, and he became a copy of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, except the prophecy. Just like Al-Hadith in Bukhari says, you are to me like Harun was from Musa, but not the prophecy. Take out the prophecy and the akhlaq are the same. Let me move real quick. I have 1 minute left or so. He stays. He raised him up until he became 10. At 10 years old or 12 years old, the da'wah came. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam announced the message among the first people. the absolute, probably, among the young people, was Ali ibn Abi Talib. From that time, da'wah was not only Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but Ali carried it also with him. He was that 10-year-old or 11-year-old that was behind the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like the hadith of Ibn Mas'ud, that Tabarani narrated and others, the hadith is sahih, inshallah ta'ala, or Hasan to say the least, to Al-Hakim Sahahu, Al-Diya Al-Maqdisi and others, by Afif bin Amr al-Kindi, where you see Sayyidina Mas'ud is describing how Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam came, him and then Ali on his right and then Khadija behind him, and did the tawaf around the Kaaba. Al-Abbas says, Wallah, ma ala dhahri hadhihi al-ard, no one on this earth worships Allah on this deen except those three. And you look at Ali there, he says, Amrad Ghulam, he is a young man, and he is shaved, he obviously doesn't have any beard. Hasan al-Wajh, he's beautiful in face. Yani as if you look at him, you see La ilaha illallah embodied in everything about Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. You see the nur of La ilaha illallah coming out of his eyes. He is the fearless lion at 10 years old, standing behind Rasulullah SalAllahu Alayhi wa Alihi. Real quick, Hijrah time. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam needs to go to Hijrah. He leaves Ali in his bed, facing imminent death. People are already surrounding the house. Who gets to stay and face imminent death? 20-year-old Ali. But he gets to sleep on the prophetic bed, and he gets to be covered by the prophetic sheets. He goes to Medina. When Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam puts brothers of each one, and who does he choose to be his brother? Ali ibn Abi Talib. Hadith Hasan rawat Tirmidhi and others. He goes Ali then to Al-Kufa, long time. Throughout the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ali was always listening, taking in. He was always behind. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam passes away. Sayyidina Abu Bakr or Sayyidina Umar, Sayyidina Uthman come. Then Sayyidina Ali comes. He goes to Kufa. Real quick, they prepared for him the palace in Kufa. That's not where Ali lives. Ali does not live in palaces. Ali does not think that palaces make people. Ali does not think that silver and gold make you a better person. Ali does not think that titles are the ones that make you. Ali thinks that your relationship with Allah and how good you are to the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to the creation of Allah, that's what makes you. So he told them, take that palace away from me. Janibuni, take it away from me. And he went and built himself a hut next to the masjid. A hut that if he stands up, his head touches the ceiling, the leaves. Let me just finish with this and tell you something about Ali. Ali practiced what he believed. Bravery is not to say what you believe, but bravery is to believe what you say. Ali believed what he said. And that's why he was walking Quran after Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. All the Sahaba were like that. Lakin Ali was special, in his special way. Ali passed away in sujood, because his killer knows that when Ali goes to into the salah, he doesn't feel anything around him. So the best way to kill him is when he's in the salah, because he doesn't feel things around him. He's with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he killed him in the sujood. But make sure and remember, Ali never left this dunya. Ali never left. When people die, they're forgotten and they have no effect on people. But Ali lives in the consciousness of the people who are free today. The free people, irrespective of their faith, Ali lives in their consciousness. Ali is still an idea that kindles the love in our heart today. Ali is the flame of Iman that shows you the path today to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ali never left, and his effect never left us. Ali still lives in our heart, and He lives in our minds, and He lives in our souls. Don't think He left. There are some people, they die when they're born because their life is worthless. They live like they're dead anyway. There's no dhikr of Allah, they're dead when they're born. And some people, they're born when they die. They're shuhada. The minute they die, their life actually starts. Maybe their life before was not that good. But the minute they die, that's what. And some people, death and life are irrespective to them. Their positive contribution is ongoing, whether they're alive or dead. And among them is Sayyidina Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. I leave you with these thoughts. I would like to ask myself and you to always refer back to the Sunnah. First, before the Sunnah, the Quran. Quran, then authentic Sunnah. Look at the authentic Sunnah. Don't just take the talk of people. Look at the Sunnah. And then, bring up the parameters for people. Loving Ali doesn't mean we are leaning towards any other thing except the Sunnah of Rasulullah SalAllahu Alayhi. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those who love not only Ahlul Bayt but Sahaba also ajma'een. May Allah be pleased with them all. Assalamu alaikum.